There are more politicians than technocrats now.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think?
Oh, I don't know why, but I think it is good. It is good because politicians easily interact, or they are not afraid per se, or they can easily be stopped by citizens, or when they stop, citizens will stop and say, what is this one telling us today? Because they have seen them in the campaign trail. Vis-a-vis a technocrat now who may be more into what is written, or, you know, translating what is written into a language understood by wananchi can be a challenge to a technocrat. But a politician, it's like brings what wananchi have said and tries to squeeze it to fit into what is written down. Yeah.
Mheshimiwa, do you agree? Do you agree? Politicians make better mistakes.
In a way, it goes by the risk level. Technocrats tend to make clear-cut decisions where consequences are easily determinable. But politicians are able to go beyond by accepting risks that may not be that determinate, but can still be tolerated, handled, and absorbed. So that makes the difference between technocrats whose decision-making is slightly to be restricted. And you need somebody who would be able to broadly make a decision based on the national interest at the time. And on that basis, it is the politicians who have the experience of doing so. All of us were technocrats from the beginning. And when you are appointed a minister, you quickly learn that one. That at that ministerial level, if it is just a technical decision, your principal secretary could do it because you have enough capacity, technical capacity within the ministry to be able to do so. There's not much in terms of research. There are people who are doing those in the ministries.
Right.
But
Jeff,
when
you know, there is nothing absurd in politics. While a technocrat is very careful, but a politician, there is nothing absurd.
They can say anything.
Right. So when decisions reach the level where consequences would require political response, then you need the politician to be the CS to make those decisions. And if consequences are of a political nature, he will have the capacity of mobilizing colleagues to achieve acceptance.
Mheshimiwa, go on. Okay, you're saying something.
No, it's okay.
Go on.
All right. We should also note that there's a very thin line that one would draw to say this is a technocrat and this one is a politician. In many cases, it's just a question of the role that one is playing, and you decide whether one is a technocrat or a politician. The line is very, very thin. As Mheshimiwa Dalmas Otieno said, most of us were technocrats for years and years. And then we just decided to go for elections and were branded politicians. Where that technocracy disappeared is difficult to tell. But you realize that the line that you can draw is that this is a Dalmas politician. Yesterday he was a technocrat, now he's a politician, is sometimes extremely difficult to draw.
It's a fine line.
So this dichotomy is misleading. What you want are people who can produce results.
Good point. Very good point. Mheshimiwa, you said a moment ago, by the time you got to immigration, you had learned the ropes. Some of these appointees are what you call greenhorns. For lack of a better word, they're greenhorns. They have absolutely zero experience. How do they fit in the job? I mean, what's it going to take?
I'll still go back to the fact that most of them are politicians. That means, though they are greenhorns, they are carrying the vision of the principal, because they have been in the same movement, campaigning, saying this is what we are going to deliver and all that. So I believe that could be the basis of their first performance. Implementing the vision.
Let's look at, what do we look at when we are thinking of making somebody a minister? First, you need to know the president. I've worked with His Excellency in this case. Since he came into Parliament, I was already in the cabinet myself. He's a person with a vision, a passion, and a commitment to perform, to achieve results. So based on the presidential perspective, the president will look for people who are likely to deliver on his mission. So the first category would be people whom he already knows in performance areas, who have been doing particular things in particular areas. And normally by the time you reach the president, you have been able to evaluate and look at so many personalities in different executive functions in the political economy. So first he has that. The second is the personal capacity of the appointee in the cabinet. What can he do? Because once he comes into the cabinet, he will not just be looking at one thing. In the cabinet, we expect his contribution on all issues that may reach the cabinet, not just his portfolio or her portfolio. All portfolio ministers, you are supposed to help your colleagues on the issues that need decision at cabinet level. So you are not restricted to decisions affecting your particular portfolio. And then finally, the president considers the relevance of your experience and capabilities to the portfolio to which he wants to assign you for now. And of course, he always reserves the right to reshuffle, depending on what you do.
Right.